Hey guys, welcome to my greenhouse. Let's give you guys a tour. So the whole greenhouse is made out of all recycled material. We used an old trampoline frame to structure the hoop, and then the boards and the inside is all made out of pallets. So it's pretty cool, pretty simple build idea. You take the greenhouse safe plastic, make the frame, add the supports. Fan really helps, and we'll talk about temperature control when we get inside, but around here, this is the front of it, and it's a pretty cool greenhouse, but let's head inside. So when you walk inside, this is what it looks like. So over here we have an extra shelf that hasn't been used yet, but we'll move our more full-grown plants over here eventually. But for right now, all the plants that we are starting go under the grow lights. Over here we have all our pots that I use for potting, and then our potting soil mixes. If you guys want to learn how to make your own starting soil mix, I have a video on that, and I'll have that linked at the end. But it's a simple recipe that I've mixed up and that I'm using for all my seeds this year, and I like the way my plants are turning out. I'll show you guys those during this video, but yeah, have a video for that if you guys want to learn how to make your own seed starter mix. Here we have our old sink. This was our old kitchen sink that we had, and the thought process is I'm gonna stop them, that way the dirt doesn't fall through, but I'll use it as a potting area. So I'll take all my mixes, instead of mixing them in a bucket or in, like I've been using this seed starter tray, I'll just move all my dirt into here and have my pots available, trays and stuff. It'll be really nice. So that is our potting table. And one of the most convenient items is we have a hose and pump right in here. We have a short 10-foot hose that allows me to get just the right amount of reach, the potting table, and to all my plants whenever I want to spray them. And I have this on a light mist. And this is, I really like this sprayer too because it's got all the different levels and stuff. Those are really convenient whenever you're trying to take care of seedlings, because having that mister on there, it's not as aggressive of a stream as a jet or a shower would be. So I really like the nozzle as well. Let's talk about temperature control, because we've been working for a while now trying to get the temperatures right. So I'm finding that if this greenhouse sticks at a regular temperature of in the 50s overnight, the plants are still perfectly fine. So that's the goal with this whole thing, keeping that temperature at a 50-degree level. Now during the day, temps can get up to, we've seen it get to 100 in here very easily, but that was before we did some other modifications, because you don't really want to cook your plants. You want them to have the right amount of humidity and heat levels. So it's really dependent upon the day and how the weather looks and what you need to do to monitor it. So it's not completely hands-free just yet, but I think we've gotten really close to that point. We have 2 thermometers set up, one against the wall, and this is the first one that we were reading for a while. And whenever you're reading something that's on the wall, not necessarily over your plants, it is a different temperature. So as of right now, up against the wall, it says it's over 70. 71, 72 as of right now. But over here, next to these plants, it's 10 degrees more. It's over 80 right now. So that's a huge difference. But that's not necessarily a bad thing for these plants. The grow light puts off a lot of heat, so that's why that's so warm right there. But the plants are getting the right amount of heat and temperature that they need. When you have it in a range from about 60 to 80 during the day, that's a really good temperature. When you go over that, I think that's where it gets a little bit difficult, because you really don't want a high temperature of 100 degrees and it'll just cook your plants. How do you keep your temperature at a steady level? So there's a few things that we do for this. During the evenings, it can drop down to below freezing, and it's frosted outside for the past 2 mornings now. So how have we combated that? Well, we have a simple space heater in here, and that just keeps running and running and running all through the night. And so how do we let that heat escape, because you want it to stay warm, but you also don't want it to get too warm and then cook your plants again. So we have a fan up here, and the fan is set to a temperature of 75 degrees, I think it says. 75 degrees. So when this room reaches that temperature, the fan kicks on and it starts blowing and getting all that hot air out. Now, this, whenever you have a greenhouse, you want a fan, because coming out here and opening, closing the door all the time, it's just a pain in the butt, and we want this to be a really hands-free situation. So we wanted to make sure that that heat was escaping and it wasn't doing like we wanted it to. So my dad drilled these holes into this greenhouse. So right now it's a cooler temperature, so they're filled in, but you can just pop those out. That allows the air to escape from underneath the plants. And that's really important, because up top we're getting all that air out with the fan, but down below, now all of that can escape out the hole that is conveniently placed underneath. You can kind of see it back there, underneath the plant. So that just allows the air to escape a little bit better underneath everything. Like I said, tables are made out of recycled pallets. Love that. We got a rock base at the bottom. Got to pull some weeds in here, because weeds are probably going to come up like crazy. But rock base, we have some rubber over here we can hose off and spray. We got a hose, pump attachment, fan, potting desk, you name it. I love this space. It's really nice for me to come out here and do all my gardening and my potting things. It makes it a lot more convenient having it all in one area, whereas before I was going to many different places to get all my stuff gathered up. But that's the greenhouse. Really cool, neat design. I figured I'd put this on here because I thought you guys might be inspired if you were looking to make your own greenhouse. This is how we built ours. And like I said, I've said before in many of my videos, I am no constructioneer by any means, and I don't know how to build things. So if you guys want more details on it, leave your questions in the comments. I will ask my dad, because he built the whole thing. So he would be the guy that you want to talk to. But he's not here right now. So you just have to ask me, and then I'll ask him. I'll relay the message. But for now, let me show you guys the plants that we have started and how they're looking. So over here we have all of our squash plants and our zucchini. We have our pumpkins and our zucchini plants, cucumbers, all our squash, things like that you want to start in those months. I have some goji berries, which I'm pretty proud of that they came up. They look like little weeds right now, but they're not. They're coming up. I have these giant pumpkins. I have another one. You can kind of see it right there coming up. And so those are looking really good. I'm excited about my squash bed this year. It's gonna, I have plans for it. It's gonna be cool. And over here, I have jalapeno peppers. They came up. I planted a lot because whenever I was planting them before, they didn't come up. My cabbage all died, guys, so I had to plant more cabbage. And I planted a lot of it again because I didn't want to run out of a season. I have a few tomatoes, bell peppers, and some other little, these things are yet to come up, so it's just a bunch of dirt up front. And over here, I have my tomatoes, which look like crap, but they're there. I really don't like how yellow these are. I think I might take them away from the grow light a little bit, but not too much. And then I have some Wisconsin SMR cucumbers, which those look good. All these plants in here, trying to figure out temperatures and how we're supposed to do the greenhouse is really difficult, because this is all a new experience. We want to use the greenhouse, but we're afraid to kill our plants because we still very much need our plants for this year. So trying to figure all that out. Tomatoes don't look the best, but I'm hoping that they perk up eventually. I don't know. We'll see. I've never really had a lot of trouble with my tomatoes like this, so maybe it's the greenhouse. Maybe I'm just gonna figure it out eventually. I don't know. So this is our greenhouse. I hope you guys enjoyed the tour, and I hope you enjoyed my little plant talk session. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I will get back to you guys as soon as I can. But for now, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.